A woman you've never heard of just dropped the most explosive royal bombshell in decades. Going only by the initials DL, she's not hiding behind anonymous sources or blurry silhouettes. She's showing her face, calm and unshaken, making claims that could destroy everything Harry and Meghan have built. According to her, she's the real mother of Archie and Lilibet, and she's got the receipts to prove it. This isn't just another royal rumor. We're talking about hospital records, financial transactions, and sealed NDAs from 2018. The woman, going by the initials DL, says she was promised privacy and compensation, but instead got erased from the narrative entirely. Now she's done staying quiet, and what she's revealing could shake the monarchy to its core. For years, people have whispered about those strange pregnancy videos. You know, the ones where Meghan's bump seemed to fold when she sat down, or mysteriously changed size between public appearances. At the time, critics were dismissed as conspiracy theorists. But those same videos are now getting millions of views overnight, and people are asking very different questions. DL claims she was recruited through a California-based agency and kept in complete isolation during both pregnancies. No friends, no family, barely any outside contact. The arrangement, according to her, was designed to prevent leaks and speculation. Meghan's team allegedly handled everything. Medical appointments, housing, even psychological support. But what they didn't handle was her long-term silence. The turning point came after she battled postpartum preeclampsia, a dangerous condition that can cause organ damage and requires intensive medical care. DL says she received minimal follow-up treatment and felt completely abandoned after delivery. In her words, she wasn't treated as a person, but as a vessel. That's when she started documenting everything. Her collection includes appointment logs, text message exchanges, payment receipts, and medical records spanning both pregnancies. If authentic, this paper trail could be devastating. She's not making vague accusations either. DL has offered to testify under oath and submit to DNA testing provided it's conducted by a neutral third party. That level of confidence has people wondering what exactly she knows that makes her so fearless. Remember how bizarre Archie's birth announcement was. No press at the hospital, no traditional photo opportunity on the steps like William and Kate had with their children. Instead, we got a casual video of Harry standing in front of a stable, grinning, and announcing the baby had arrived. Even then, it raised eyebrows. Why was there no confirmed hospital name? Why was the media completely shut out? Looking back, it feels like a carefully orchestrated performance. Then came the birth certificate controversy. When it was finally released, people noticed something odd. Meghan's full legal name, Rachel Meghan Markle, had been removed and replaced with her Royal Highness the Duchess of Sussex. The palace claimed it was a clerical update. Meghan said it was done without her consent. But now, with DLS accusations surfacing, some think the name was removed to avoid legal complications. Listing Meghan as the birth mother on an official document could have been seen as falsifying legal records if she wasn't actually the one who gave birth. What's most telling is the response, or lack thereof. There's been no denial, no press conference, no clear statement shutting this woman down. Instead, reports suggest Meghan and Harry's legal team is working overtime behind closed doors, allegedly threatening media outlets and scrambling to control the narrative. But when someone offers to take a DNA test and you respond with lawsuit threats instead of evidence, that doesn't exactly inspire confidence. Harry's role in all this is particularly damaging. Initially, some people thought he might be another victim of Meghan's PR machine. But if DLS claims are true, that narrative completely falls apart. If he was involved from the beginning, if he knew the pregnancies were staged and still participated, then he's not a passive bystander. He's a co-architect of the deception. Sources close to Harry claim he's been emotionally volatile, lashing out at staff and retreating from his usual routines. Insiders say he's barely sleeping, consumed by paranoia about who knew what and when. One former staffer reportedly said he's unraveling, caught in a lie he thought he could control forever. Another mentioned that Harry has started questioning whether Meghan's team gave him the complete story during the original arrangement. The press, once cautious about covering unverified claims, is beginning to circle not just tabloids either. Mainstream outlets are reportedly having their legal teams assess the risks of covering the story more aggressively. Amateur investigators online are flooding forums, digging up old clips and inconsistencies from Meghan's pregnancy era. Some of the footage is genuinely hard to ignore. A 2019 appearance where Meghan bends down and her baby bump visibly collapses inward has been analyzed frame by skeptics. At the time, it was dismissed as a dress wrinkle or camera angle. Now it's being viewed through an entirely different lens. Other clips show her bump appearing dramatically different sizes within days, or moving in ways that seem inconsistent with natural pregnancy. Meghan, in contrast to Harry's reported volatility, is staying completely out of sight. No Instagram posts, no podcast episodes, no product launches. For someone so used to controlling the narrative, the silence is deafening. Her PR firm hasn't issued a single official denial, and, according to people familiar with her brand operations, several high-profile collaborations are now under internal review. Legal pressure is ramping up on multiple fronts. Rumors are swirling that Meghan and Harry's attorneys have issued cease and desist letters to multiple outlets considering interviews with DL. But here's the thing, DL says she welcomes legal action. She's even offered to testify under oath and submit to DNA testing. That level of confidence from someone making such explosive claims is remarkable. Word is that at least two major television networks have already pre-recorded segments with DL and are just waiting for the legal situation to settle before airing them. The moment that footage hits television screens, the entire narrative could shift permanently. The couple that built their post-royal life on authenticity and transparency could find themselves facing the biggest credibility crisis imaginable. This isn't just a gossip story anymore. It's starting to touch on constitutional implications that have British advisors genuinely concerned. The monarchy operates on strict protocols, especially regarding succession and legitimacy. If a surrogate was used but not disclosed, and if royal protocol requires transparency for succession purposes, it opens legal questions the palace has never dealt with before. The Queen's former press secretary even commented in a radio interview, saying this would be unprecedented. If true, it could raise significant questions about legitimacy and title rights. The monarchy has always been built on tradition and transparency with the public. While surrogacy isn't illegal or shameful, hiding it in a royal context could be seen as deceptive to both the public and the institution itself. Senior advisors are reportedly consulting legal historians and constitutional scholars to explore their options. A formal investigation remains unlikely, but a quiet review is allegedly underway. If it turns out the Sussexes violated royal protocol or actively deceived the monarchy, it could lead to consequences nobody has seen before, including title removals, or a complete severing of remaining royal ties. The strain behind closed doors is becoming impossible to hide. People close to the couple say the tension is unbearable. Meghan is reportedly furious, not just at DL for coming forward, but at Harry for not shutting it down before it spread. She allegedly believes his indecision gave the story oxygen when it could have been contained. Meanwhile, Harry feels cornered by more than just media frenzy. He's facing the possibility that everything he built outside the royal family could collapse. Sources claim the couple is barely communicating, sleeping in different rooms, with staff cut down to a minimum. Their Montecito mansion, once described as a peaceful retreat, is now filled with suspicion and whispered arguments. What's equally unsettling is how public opinion is shifting. Celebrities who once stood by the couple are going quiet. Podcasts that previously praised Meghan's advocacy work are scrubbing old episodes. Social media pages once filled with support are now flooded with comments demanding truth and accountability. The fairy tale illusion is cracking, and people aren't looking away. For a couple that built their entire post-royal identity on authenticity, this moment is devastating. It's not just reputational damage, it's existential. If the public believes they lied about something this fundamental, how can they be trusted about anything else? Their brand was built on being the honest, relatable royals who broke free from tradition. If that foundation crumbles, what's left? British constitutional advisors are reportedly re-evaluating the legal validity of the children's status in the royal line of succession. Here's why this matters: if surrogacy was used, but undisclosed, and if royal protocol requires complete transparency for succession legitimacy, it creates unprecedented legal complications. Can titles like prince and princess apply to children born via undisclosed surrogacy? Can they remain in the line of succession if royal birth protocol wasn't properly followed? These are questions the palace has never seriously considered until now. The idea that children might have been brought into the royal bloodline under false pretenses isn't just a PR nightmare, it's a constitutional crisis waiting to happen. There are real implications for how the monarchy operates and maintains public trust. What started as whispers about a moon bump and an odd birth certificate has evolved into one of the biggest controversies the modern monarchy has faced. The couple, once celebrated for their independence and authenticity, now faces questions about the very foundation of their family life. The story that looked like freedom is starting to look a lot like fiction. The woman, known only as DL, sits at the center of it all, calm and unshaken, almost like she's been waiting for this moment her entire life. She's got documents, she's got details, and she's not backing down. Meanwhile, from Harry and Meghan, there's only silence. And in the court of public opinion, that silence is getting louder every single day. This scandal has the potential to rewrite royal history and destroy the carefully crafted image of the world's most famous couple. The question isn't whether they can survive this controversy. The question is whether there's enough left of their credibility to rebuild from the ashes if DL's claims prove true, and with each day of silence, that possibility looks less and less likely.